You ever allowed yourself to fall so in love with the world? They say you should like follow the path, whatever it is that inspires you, that bliss, follow it all the way through till you come to that beauty, to that love. Perhaps you found it in your life somewhere, and then you return to the world or your life or whatever, and it just seems like a distant dream, and you're like, yeah, that maybe that wasn't really real. I don't know. I felt so amazing. I felt so in love with life. Or there's this book, Bruce Lipton, right? All the biology of how our beliefs create our experience and our vibe and everything is called the honeymoon effect. And it's all this evidence of people when they're in deep love, in that honeymoon time, that things manifest. There's all this magic, there's all this love, and so it's an amazing time. But then eventually, what? The honeymoon fades, the grind of life sets back in. We forget. We're just like, I don't know. Yeah, that was something. Maybe I knew it then, but now, fuck, I got the bills. I got this. I got all this stuff in my life, all this shit to do, and you forget. You've forgotten again. Here we are. This is what happens. We just keep forgetting over and over, and then we come back around like, oh yeah, I remember. That's why one of the reasons I love nature so much. That was the thing I followed. She's my bliss, my love. And as I said before, I just fell so in love with the beauty of this wild planet, and my life took me into living in some of the most amazing, spectacular, beautiful places in the world here in the Rockies in Colorado, and also traveling around the world to other amazing places. But here in Colorado, out in the wild in the Rockies, is where I literally fell in love with the beauty so deeply that I became that love. It just, I would cry, I would just be in such bliss and in love with the beauty. Thank you. So I'm in love with you. And that's what I think she does, and nature is our natural vibration. She just holds us in that, says it's all good. And if you come spend a few days just in the wild, you'll start to forget about all your problems. You'll start to remember who you really are. You'll start to remember this love that you are. And that's what this third level is all about. To be love, be love. That truly there is nothing but love. But to truly know that, to truly experience it, you have to let something affect you that deeply. You've got to follow something. I know it happens with people with their kids, right? Like the birth of your children is so amazing. It is that pure love. And they come in, these little love bombs, they come and explode in our life. And they're just these Buddhas. They're phenomenal. But then they also need so much. And there's all these things, but, but incredible love that comes through. So, but what this truth is pointing at and what this level is about is learning, realizing that that's actually our natural state, that we are this loving awareness without effort, without trying. We just are love. That's what nature is. Without effort, without trying, just this natural beauty, this love. But I find love in, making love through music and through coding and art, movement, rhythms. What is it for you? What are the ways you tune into that? And it's related to this alignment. So we say these layers keep stacking on top of each other, being connected. When you're really connected with who you are, living your own resonance, your truth, following your heart, realizing that you're empowered over your own life, your state of being, that you can choose to create and move and flow whatever you want. But most especially when you're in alignment, because you can get all egoic and mental about this and go off and do all kinds of shit, but you're not going to feel fulfilled. It's not going to lead to this love. It's going to lead to emptiness because it's not coming from that authentic integrity of resonance. This is where we get off track. But once you allow something in your life, or maybe you have, right, this love to permeate through you, and maybe it opens doors of like bhakti, devotional singing, prayer, worship, all these beautiful ways that we have to access the state of love, to vibrate within it, to radiate within that love. And in this stage is about really feeling, really moving our awareness into the heart. Literally, we become heart centered. Hopefully, you can hear me. If the river's a little loud, I'm gonna move away from it in case it's too loud. Love it out here. Love this place. But this level is about the awakening of the heart. You might say level 2 is about awakening the mind, right? This empowerment, this powered state of being. Level 3 is awakening the heart. And you might find, I know for me, the shift in the heart, and I've seen it in others, you end up crying for no reason, falling so in love with simplest things in life. I'm just going to sit down here. When the heart begins to awaken, it's such a beautiful thing. I know it was probably a few year process for me, and I just would end up crying in so many circumstances with just so much love. And there's times of it so much grief, you feel so much for humanity. You feel all the suffering. You feel and you remember what it's like to be so separate. But now you're starting to remember how connected we all are. You feeling this love. You're feeling God. That's what this third level is about. Moves from a place of knowing, of thought, thinking about it, and the synchronicity and the manifesting, all of that begins to become this embodied, felt knowingness that we are love. That love is the actual root behind everything. Love is what we are. Love's what all of life is. And it settles into your being, and it's a really beautiful state. And like I said, it's actually our natural state. When we become centered in the heart and learning what that means, there's a focal point of our awareness. We need to start learning how to bring that focus into our heart, and letting it settle there. This is when our focus, our mind, our mental awareness unites with our feeling awareness and settles in the heart. You can bring those two. This is our divine masculine and divine feminine energetics, our solar and lunar, our focus and our feeling. We bring those and bring it into the heart. And when you really do this, when you really find it, it awakens this higher heart, this activated heart. It's a heart that's like on fire. Those pictures of Jesus where he's got his heart and there's flames and things like that. This is the higher heart, and this is the heart of God, the love of God. You feel it pulsing through your heart, through your whole body. And that's what this level, this stage is all about, that capacity. And the only way through it is, to begin really living into the truth that there is nothing but love. But you also have to live it. You got to feel it. You got to live in that devotion, that desire to live and know and be that love. You got to want it with every fiber in your body and with your whole soul, which is why it says in the Bible to love the Lord with all your heart. It's not just some ideal. It's not something that you should do. It's something God needs for sure. God is that love, but it's what brings you closer in to that God nature, to that God mode within you. Brings you into what you are. And it's undeniable. And when you really know that, when you feel that, when you experience that, when you are that, you don't have to prove it to anybody. You don't really, it's just not a thing you even need to argue about. There's no discussion about it. It just is. And it's beautiful. And when you lose it, when you get lost back in the world, you drop into those other levels, if you want to look at that right that way, you drop back into the 3D, laid out these paths, these levels, these truths for you, and their steps. Get connected, be connected, feel into your heart. It's all about the heart always. Find resonance, find your truth, become empowered, be empowered. Stop choosing thoughts, stop focusing on the things that make you feel terrible. Come back to the heart, find resonance, connect with what's really true. So create more resonance, more vibration, more expansion for you, and open up paths that'll solve your problems. You'll know how to follow that guidance, and come back to that love and focus into your heart. Bring your focus and your feeling together. Unite those two parts of yourself and focus and feel in your heart. Just be present with that. Just breathe into that. And know that there's nothing but love. And that's what you are. You are that love, and everything is that love. There's nothing but that love. And the more that you can allow yourself to fall into that bliss, that peace, that state of grace, this opens the door for the fourth sacred truth and this fourth level. This is what gives you access to that God mode. But it requires that you surrender everything that you thought you were, right? You have to surrender all the egoic things. If you're really going to be love, it's to love all things. Love everything. Be the source of love. To realize there's love in everything. And it's the only goal. It's the only desire. Everything else is false, if you want to call it that. It's going to take you down a different path. I'm not even going to say that's wrong. You're free to choose any path to go anyway. You don't have to do any of this of what I'm saying. You're free to follow it, and I'm going to love you, and God loves you, life loves you, no matter what. Because that's what we are. That's it. That is what we are in our core, is that love. We're just saying, I'm saying, there's something more if you want to. There's something more you can be. There's more realness. There's more you to be experiencing. There's more love to feel. There's more love to feel than you ever can, more than you can handle. It'll just keep flooding into you till you're on the floor in tears of grace and gratitude and love and so grateful, and remember who you are. That's what you are. It's so beautiful. So, oh, thank you for listening. Thank you for being another human, God embodied presence, being in the heart. And this is how we heal the world. This is how we unite the sacred hoop that bonds us all through the heart, through that love.